First issue. So first, a few house rules for the members of the floor. Please silence your phones during the entire debate. And secondly, if you wish to leave the hall, do it during the intervals as to not disturb the debaters. So now, I would like to invite the supporting member of the motion, which is this House believes that the new National Higher Education Blueprint 2015-2025 can substantially change the quality of graduates from local institutions. And to kick off the debate, I invite Noel Meldon to start off on the issue that the government providing more decision-making rights to the universities.
Okay. Hi. Good evening, Dr. Sri, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, especially to the STM High Achiever students today. 10 years ago, I couldn't even get 9 Bs, so congratulations to all of you. So the National Education Blueprint. One of the key issues is with regards to autonomy. We have, last I checked again, 9 Bs only. We have about 20 public universities, about another similar number of private universities, assortment of 150 over university colleges within this country. The Ministry of Education is one that is seen as the role of a key regulator, a gatekeeper to all the policies with regards to education in this country. The new education blueprint would visualize and aspire to give back some of these powers to universities, to the administrators of these universities, simply because universities know their business better, know their students better. Now, Mark will of course talk about the fact that, we need someone who regulates and controls this. The National Education Blueprint is not going to disregard or diminish the power of the Ministry of Education with regards to creating a framework in which universities can operate in. We're not going to have illegal operations for universities. We're not going to simply have them design curriculums willy-nilly. We think that the Ministry of Education would provide a framework in which it can coexist with universities, administrators in both the public and private sphere, to create a conducive environment in which universities can flourish, can take decisions and make decisions on their own. And why is this important, ladies and gentlemen? Why is this important? As a student, former student of a public university, I realize what is important is not just government funding, it's not just government telling you what is an acceptable curriculum, but also universities taking charge and also exploring innovation, creativity with regards to the direction that they want to bring their universities and also the environment in which they want to mold the students. This is important. Yang berbahagia talked about the colonial days when education was significantly a limited access to a lot of people. Times have changed, access has been greater than before. 1.4 million students in universities, both in the public and private sector. Autonomy would allow us, universities especially, to move forward and create, to look to beyond the public sphere, to look beyond public funding, to look at the private sector especially, in terms of where can we get the best ideas, where can we get the best practices, where can we get the best teachers, for example, and from there on propel the universities and students more. This does not mean, and this I believe preemptively stop, because I've been a teammate of Mark for 5 years, I'll know you'll talk about the fact that without the Ministry of Education, everything's going to go haywire. We don't think so. The Ministry of Education has talked about creating a framework in which universities that are capable, not just financially, but capable of administrating a lot of the things themselves, to enter into contracts where if you are able to prove yourself to manage and be autonomous, the Ministry of Education would provide that. This kind of policy in which there's a relaxation in terms of how the ministry regulates and also administers regulations towards these universities is a new frontier for all of us, especially for students who are going to university very shortly. Good luck. So that is all. Thank you.
After 5 years of debating together, because you couldn't even get 9 Bs, you'll never understand my tactics in debating. And that's the problem in status quo, because we think we can do it. We think we can do it by ourselves. But eventually, we will lose track. Things are best done together. So the question lies in this debate is, if we give universities the autonomy to make their own decisions, are their decisions in line with the tertiary education growth within this country itself? Because University Malaya might want to do their own thing, UPM might want to do their own thing, UTM might think, hey, we're better off focusing on one particular area, let's get on with it. But the reason why there is a Ministry of Higher Education is because they understand the sort of environment, the demographic of education within this country itself. Universities know what's happening within their gates, but the education system understands what this country needs holistically. That is why when the universities get their public funding, it is in line of what the education system deems is necessary at that particular point in time. For example, we are running shortage of doctors. So the Education Ministry funds universities to focus on that particular area. And in this case, they gave huge amounts of funding to University Malaya to emphasize on their medical faculty. Now, if University Malaya were to have made their own decisions, would they necessarily have made a decision that is in line with what is necessary for this country and its growth itself? That is why we believe that in the end, there must be a hierarchy system here, where the ministry makes a decision that is in parallel with every single educational university in status quo. That is why we were able to grow from 5 or 6 universities to a university that is existing in every state within this country itself, because the demand grew. And the only reason why universities grew is because the Education Ministry understood that growth. That is why we should never give full autonomy for universities to make their own decisions.